Hey John and Team Trotec, I'm going to show you what I do just so you can get an idea of the things that I do in the 360. I'm going to take some 6mm acrylic here and cut that up. I'm going to use a jig that I've designed to help me cut it up so we can hopefully not set the machine on fire. So I'll put it in the machine, turn it on, show you through the process. The job control screen here at the moment. So this is my cut pattern in job control. The red line, it cuts first on the outside, then it cuts up the middles. The trick with my cutting process is I control which way the lines are cut. So it's all about not cutting the same point twice if possible. The last thing that is cut are these little star pieces in the middle here. That's the only time we get more connections, but all the patterns are drawing towards the outside, and the outside cuts in one continuous loop. So I'll put it into the time lapse and let you watch the whole process. Alright, so there it is up on the table. It takes about 4 minutes to cut that one out. So it's only got very light burns, no real damage at all. It's just all in the way that I cut it. So it's just these little points here that flash up. There's no actual damage on any of the pieces, and it's all just because the jig allows the beam to spread out. There's only a few spots where you see that the double point, or where there is already a cut. I've been using these jigs now for 10 years making these trophies, and I really haven't had any problems with them. So the whole process is quite simple for making the individual pieces. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take them out to a router out the back there and just knock off the sharp edges that are on here. They're not that sharp, but it's just to dress them up a little bit more, but it's a beautiful finish. Now, what I'm hoping to do is get these blanks in the schools and allow the schools to create a like a design project or some type of learning experience where they can learn to engrave. Some of the options to do the engraving: this sort of style here is like a deep engraving, a deep deep raster, so it's multiple passes. It looks really effective on lights. I'll show you the lights later on. I'll bring it over here now. I also can make these lights and supply them. There's even a process where I could show them how they're made, and kids could make them themselves. They come in different colors. They're a USB connection. Pull that out. So it's just a simple USB connection here. There's one where we did UV print and we did cutting in on it. Just normal engraving. I'll grab a jig and show you how the jig works. Alright, so here's a jig. It's just made from MDF. I made this a long time ago in my 2013 is the date it says it was made, 2013. 26th of the 8th, 2013. This little spring mechanism that you see here was designed to push up a little bit and hold the trophy foam. It's not too bad, but I've moved more to a tape feature now. It's a lot easier, so it's simpler to handle. Just tape the piece onto it. This allows me to do double-sided engraving, in that I can put it into the machine this way, engrave on this surface, and then flip it over and engrave on this surface. I've got some techniques where I can synchronize the engraving on both sides so they line up exactly. So you can engrave on one side and then synchronize it on the other side, so when you look at it, it's got a dimensional effect. I'll show you one of those shortly. I'm going to take you through and show you how I do a black and white engraving today. This is one I've done a while ago, so it's just a technique that I've developed. Here's one with a bit of a dimension on it, just very hard to see if I can get the camera to show it, but there's the balls on the front and the tennis rackets on the back. So if you go through that way, I've got another one here that will maybe show it a bit better. This is like a defocused beam type process where I've defocused the beam and then done these long engraves. So you see there's a front and a back. Probably will show up in this one better. This is a Harlequin logo. So all these sort of techniques which don't involve cutting the material are safe to process and could easily be taught. There's an old one. Oh, it's probably not the best one for camera. It's too weak. So I'm going to set up the job and put it in the machine, take you through the artwork that I create, and then hopefully you can see on what I'm trying to do and how I can then try and adapt into Ruby. I'm interested to see what advantages the bitmap processing may do, and if I can use the camera that I've got to cut and position things as well. The trophy that I did here with the cuts, I used the registration points on the back here and then cut into the trophy to make the flame effects that you see when you light it up. So I want to try different sorts of techniques like that and try and bring a whole new concept to the way I can do trophies and make things. So give me a few minutes to go and tidy these pieces up, so I'll process them all at once, then I'll come back and I'll show you the artwork and we'll take you through the machine. Okay, I've smoothed up all the edges, just made them all nice and smooth. They come up nice. I've got the artwork in the machine. Let me turn you around closer. So here is what I'm going to do here. I'll make the screen bigger so you can zoom in. So what I've got here is a black and white image of that ambulance there. And what I want to do is, once I engrave this, I'm going to color the engraved area with a black marker, a black Sharpie. Not a Sharpie, a whiteboard marker. So I'm just going to start the machine and get it to engrave. Here we are now in job control. So it's going to engrave the ambulance down there. So you can see it's turning out negative, and it makes it very hard to do this sort of thing. So the idea is now I color this in with black, and then that becomes the black that you would normally see in the black and white image. So it's doing the words. I'll just pause it and come back. Okay, so it's finished that run. I'm just going to bring you in here so you can see what's going to happen. I'm going to colour the St. John's logo in red as well. Alright, so this one will be just black. And this one will be red. Just let it dry a little bit. It'll come off with a whiteboard marker, but you can even wipe it off with your fingers. Alright, let's do the next part. So up here now is the white engrave. So the white engrave is going to come there. Okay. It's a fairly quick process. There you go. So we've got a red logo up there and we've got a black and white car. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll send this video to you shortly and you can let me know what you think. Alright.